The night was dark and silent as James Walker hurried down the deserted street, the flickering streetlights casting eerie shadows on the cracked pavement. He had just finished a late shift at the diner and was eager to get home to his small, cluttered apartment. The promise of a hot shower and a good night's sleep beckoned him forward. As he walked, James patted his pockets out of habit, checking for his essentials: phone, keys, wallet. His heart skipped a beat when he realized his wallet was missing. He stopped under a street lamp, the light casting an ominous glow over his worried face. Panic surged through him as he frantically searched his pockets again, then his backpack, but it was gone. Retracing his steps, James scoured the sidewalk, his eyes scanning the ground for any sign of the black leather wallet. He thought about the cash inside, his ID, the photos of his late mother, sentimental items that couldn't be replaced. His breath quickened, and a cold sweat broke out on his forehead. He needed to find it. The street was empty, save for the occasional stray cat and the rustle of leaves in the wind. James tried to recall when he last had it. At the diner? On the bus? As he pondered, he noticed a faint, almost imperceptible trail of something shimmering on the ground. It seemed to lead towards an alleyway he had never noticed before. Curiosity and desperation drove him to follow it. The alley was narrow and seemed to stretch on forever, the shadows deepening with every step. James's footsteps echoed off the brick walls, the sound bouncing back to him in an unsettling manner. He reached the end of the alley and found himself in a small enclosed courtyard. The shimmering trail stopped at the foot of an old, decrepit building. Feeling a strange compulsion, James approached the door. It creaked open at his touch, revealing a dimly lit hallway. He hesitated, but the thought of his wallet pushed him forward. Inside, the air was cold and smelled of mildew. The walls were lined with faded, peeling wallpaper, and the floorboards creaked beneath his weight. James called out, his voice trembling. "Hello? Is anyone here?" There was no answer. He walked deeper into the building, each step growing more difficult as an oppressive feeling of dread settled over him. Suddenly, he heard a faint whisper, almost too soft to discern. It seemed to be calling his name. He turned a corner and found himself in a room lit by a single flickering bulb. In the center of the room, on a dusty table, lay his wallet. Relief flooded him as he rushed forward and grabbed it. But as soon as he touched it, the room grew colder, and the whispers intensified. "James, you shouldn't have come." He spun around, but no one was there. The shadows seemed to shift and dance, forming figures that moved closer. Panic set in, and he dashed for the door, clutching his wallet. The hallway seemed longer now, stretching endlessly as the whispers grew louder, more insistent. "James, stay with us." He stumbled, his heart pounding in his chest, and finally burst through the front door into the courtyard. The cold night air hit him like a slap, and he kept running, not daring to look back. He didn't stop until he reached his apartment, slamming the door behind him and collapsing on the floor. Gasping for breath, he looked at the wallet in his hand. It felt heavier than before. He opened it and screamed. Inside, instead of his belongings, were photographs of people he didn't recognize. Pale, gaunt faces with hollow eyes staring up at him in silent torment. James dropped the wallet and backed away, realizing with dawning horror that the whispers had followed him home. "James, you can't escape.